Hello and welcome to today's live YouTube lesson. I'm not sure if this is working because I've had quite a few internet problems. So hopefully this works. But yeah, I've had some serious problems and it's really annoying. Hello, Irina F. I'm glad that you have found the video. It's really frustrating. I don't know what's happened. I just can't get it to work. So you probably will see quite a few clicks, but only one of them is correct. So we'll have to see how that goes, really. Hopefully enough people click on the correct one, because there's a few things happening. I might have to try and sort this out. I'm going to have to try and sort this out later because there are just some things that I don't know why it didn't work for me today. Usually this doesn't happen, but for some reason today it just didn't work. Anyway, guys, I will have to go back later and I will have to try and sort this out. Looking at it, I think enough people have actually found the actual correct one. I'm going to see if I click on the correct one. Okay, yeah, okay, right. I see that it's definitely working. Okay, so we'll just have to I just have to hope that enough people find the actual correct one. There might be about three, and some of them don't work. But I'm glad that I'm able to actually give a lesson, and I'll have to sort out everything else afterwards. I guess that's just the way it is. I haven't been lucky today when it comes to technology. A few things haven't been quite right. Good afternoon or buenos dias, Alida. Privyet, Irina F. That reminds me. I think my audio is good, but I just want to make sure that it's very good rather than just, yeah, I can kind of hear you. Okay, so this should be better. Unfortunately, there's been some disruption. Anyway, let's continue. As always, guys, please make sure you follow the lesson in the live chat section. That is where the action happens. Second of all, please make sure that you participate, you come in with your answers and your ideas, because that will help me as well. So we are running late, so let's get into it. De Burke, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. So guys, today we are looking at the passive. Now, it is something we've looked at in the past, but it's a build-up, because tomorrow we're going to look at impersonal passive structures. So today we're going to look at the standard passive structure that you need to know and how it works and all the rest. Some of you will have seen this before, but it's always good to recap our knowledge on this. So just to remind you guys, you've got two things in English. You've got active, you have an active sentence, okay, such as Apple made this phone, for example. So Apple made this phone. We could say BMW make this range of cars. Yeah, BMW make these. Let's see, BMW make good cars. That would be another standard active sentence. And let's go for an extreme one. We could say John took, let's think of a, John took Elena out on a date. So we've got some basic active examples there. The important thing here is that the agent is your subject, okay? Uh, Plus verb, and then you can have your object of your sentence, for example, be it a phone, a car, or Elena who is going out on a date. Now, your agent is the doer. That's the important thing. The thing that is causing the action. Um, so, what's the passive? Well, in the passive, what would normally be the object of the sentence becomes the subject of the sentence, such as these good cars are made by BMW. We could then say this phone this phone was made by Apple. And finally, we could say Elena was taken out on a date. And if you wanted to, you could say then John. So Elena was taken out on a date by John. Okay. In this structure, we have your subject plus passive verb, okay, which is the verb. Well, it's the verb to be plus past participle. And then you have the option plus the agent, which is the object of the sentence. Now, you don't always need the agent. So, for example, we could say in an active sentence, we could say, the police caught the thief. But in a passive sentence, we could say, the thief was caught. So in the passive structure, the subject is not the agent, and it's what it's like what's happening to that thing. So the thief would usually be the object of the sentence, but we're moving it to the subject because that's what we want to talk about. Remember, the subject is always what you want to talk about. So the object of your sentence in an active becomes the subject. And we don't always need to include the agent. More importantly, we use it also just to tell people what the most important information is, such as the plane is delayed, okay, or cancelled. This is the most important bit of information, which is why we use it. So we use it a lot just to give the most important information. And that is the most important thing you guys need to know. So let's see if you guys can complete the structure in these following sentences. Okay, so let's go for it. So A, we're going to go with okay. The way we'll do this is in two parts, actually. So we've got 1A, and then we'll have 1B, okay? So in B, we will have just to make my point. So as you can see, you've got the active, then the passive. So in this activity, you would say 1A would be John cooked dinner, and 1B would be dinner was cooked by John, just to make my point very clear. So with that being said, let's move on and you guys can do the rest. So 2A, let's go with okay, let's continue. Three, and let's go for one more. So we have Debec. Debec says A is, oh, sorry, 2A is saved, the doctor saved him, and B was saved. Good. And Arena agrees, the doctor saved him, he was saved by the doctor. Good. And Alida agrees. 3, fixed was fixed. So Mary fixed the TV and the TV was fixed. Good. 4A, a lead has gone with Dell made computers. Yeah, I should add, by the way, for this one, 4, I'm just going to change it to present because all my examples so far have been in the past. So I just wanted to include one present one. So yeah, so Dell makes computers. Dell make computers. Dell makes computers. Are made. Okay, yeah, 4B is definitely are made. If it's going to be the present, past would be were made. Yeah. Um, um, so these computers were made by Dell would be fine in the past. In the present, these computers are made by Dell. And Dell make computers. Yeah, we don't need to use Dell makes computers. I can see why you've gone for that. The thing about the when we use company names, it depends what we're referring to. If we are referring to the team, then that would be plural S. If we're referring to the company as a single unit, it's going to be make. So Dell make computers. If with though, it's a bit like this one, okay? Um, Manchester United. Let I always go for like football sometimes in this case, but just to show you what I mean, Manchester United is a great club. Okay, so in this case, Manchester United is a is singular because I'm referring to it just as one unit. Manchester United are a great team. Obviously, I'm referring to them as a plural because I'm talking about the team. Alida understands. Yep, sure. Excellent. Okay, great. Yeah, that's always a good one to point out. Let's make this a little bit more complicated. I'm now going to up it, and I just want to see what you guys do. If I need to explain, then I will. We're now going to move on to more complicated things like the continuous and the perfect tenses. So let's go again. 1A. I'm just going to give you some examples again, and then we can go from it. So present perfect, passive. What does this look like? The team has been relegated. Relegated. Okay, and in the past perfect, passive, this would be the company had been sold. Okay, that would be in the past. That would be in the past. So what's the structure? We've got have or has plus been plus past participle. That's how we make it. And it's the same in the past perfect. Had plus been plus past participle. Okay. So let's see how you guys do. Let's go for this one. Once again, one will be active, one will be passive. So we've got 1A. And 1B. Okay, 2. Okay, and let's go for one more. Okay, so let's see what you guys do. Just to recap, okay, for the we had a look at the first lot of answers. So in this one, you're looking at the present perfect and the past perfect. It's very easy to transition between the present and the past in this case. because we just have to put been in if we're making the passive. So you've got 1A, John has something, the company, that's active. B is obviously going to be passive, so the company has something. 2A, she has something, her house. You've got sell in brackets, so you need to think about what the past participle of sell is. And B, this is going to be the passive. The house has something, something. You can see here we don't need to put the agent. And 3A, we had the ghost. And 3B, the ghost had by whatever. So Alida has kindly come in with the answers already. Let's see if she's correct. 1A, bought. So John has bought the company. Yes. Okay. 1B, the company has been bought. Yes, Alida, that is correct. But I'm only going to say you're correct there because I want to see if other people come in with the same answers afterwards. De Burke says the same answers as well for 1. So yeah, we can agree. John has bought the company, or the company has been bought. Good. Number 2, Alida has said she has sold her house, and number 2, she has said been sold. So the house has been sold, and Arena F has come in with the same answer, and De Beck has also come in with the same answer. So you guys are correct that the active sentence to be is the to be. The house has 2A is the house has she has sold her house, and 2B is the house has been sold. Okay, just in case, if you're watching, make sure you are looking at the live chat. I'm not talking about the verb to be, I'm talking about exercise to be. Number 3, we're now in the past perfect here, and we have we had something, the ghost. And Alida has put we had seen the ghost, and Arena F agrees. While for B, they've put the ghost had been seen, and Alida and Arena F agree, and so does De Burke. Okay, excellent. So far we are doing really well. We fully understand what it is that we are trying to do. Now let's have a little look at the continuous version. Just the past and present continuous. I should tell you guys this. The passive structure in a present perfect continuous or a past perfect continuous, no, doesn't exist. So let's now look at the continuous version. So to give you an example, so she will be, oh, sorry, that's the future. Whoops. We are making bread, and in the passive, the bread is being made. So in the passive structure here, what we have is subject plus be plus the bread is being made. So verb ing plus past participle. Okay, so that's what we need to do. So We are making bread is in the present, as continuous active, and the bread is being made is the present continuous passive. In the past, it's no different. If I wrote it in the past, it would be the bread was being made. Okay, it was being made by John, for example. So that's the structure. It doesn't change if it's the past or present. Other than the verb to be, there's no difference. That is the structure you need to go with. So let's see how you guys do. Um, and 1B. Okay, so let's look at 2A. I gave it all. Wait a minute. I made a mistake there. Scratch that. That's a bad. That's not what I wanted to do. I gave you the answer. Silly of me. But I think you guys can already guess it. Is making, cake is being made. Yeah, yes, De Burke, you are correct. Unfortunately, I got I just wrote it badly. Okay, so 2A. Um, to B. In the present continuous, and let's go with the last one, 3A. And then we've got 3A. By the way, when you see this word, okay, this is a phrasal word, draw up. It means it's another one word for make or create. That's what it means. So you need to think about how to use this. So we've got he, draw up plans, and plans draw up. So in one of them, you have to use the active, and the other one, you need to use the passive. So you need to think about what the past participle of draw is. De Burke says our building and the house is being made. Oh, I put made. No, I should. That's silly of me, guys. Can you change made for 2? Please use build in both. That's a mistake. You build a house. You don't make a house. You build a house. But I see what you're going with there, De Burke. So I'm going to give you the answer. Yes, the house. The house is being built. That's what it should be for number 2. My mistake. I put make instead of build. Alida says, is making, yeah. So just like De Burke said, the cake is being made. Sorry, the house. Where am I looking at? Yes. Okay. So we did one, didn't we? Yes, because 1A was is making. So yeah, Fran is making a cake. And number 2 is the cake was uh, being made for his birthday. So yes, that's correct. Number 2, we've got the house. So number 2 is being built. Correct. So we've got we are building the house, and the house is being built. Yes, correct. Number 3, we've got John was drawing up plans. Yes, plans were being drawn up. Correct. Okay, so let me just make sure that that's absolutely clear. And 1B. Two. What did I say? 2. Present continuous for 2. So and number 3, because it's in the past. Does that make it clear that was in the past? Yes. Okay. So those are the answers. We just need to remember if we're writing in the present or the past. If it's in an exam, it will tell you if you need to write, or it'll make it very clear that you need to write in the present or past. So now that we have looked at how to create a passive in the present, the past, in the 3 main structures that you can use, can you guys tell me what would how do you write a future simple passive? Any ideas? I'm going to see if you guys can do it before I tell you, because now all you need to do is you just need to think about putting the modal verb will in. So let's see if you guys can do it. Can you create a future simple passive? Let's see if you guys can do it. Unfortunately, again, guys, I do know that the numbers today are not what they usually are, because I had technical problems at the beginning. Okay, so the passive, future simple passive, the cake will be made, dinner will be made. Yeah, excellent. That's exactly it. That's how you do it. What about a future continuous in the passive form? Any ideas? What do you think? How do you make a future continuous in the passive form? So we can do it in the present. Sorry, we can do it in the future. How do you do it when it comes to the future? Can it be done? Will be being made. The computer will be being. Ooh, think about that. You'll just need the be. Don't forget, you need be to make the future continuous, such as in the active, she will be creating. Uh, she will be creating a new album, for example. So that would be in the active. What about the passive? So she will be creating a new album. Can we turn this into a passive? What do you guys think? It's a bit of a strange one because it's not something we would. It's look put this way. It's not. It's not something we would normally do. We would normally use. It's quite rare to make a future continuous passive. A new album will be being created. Will be being done. Okay. I see what you're going for. Let's see if others agree with you. Let's see if others agree with you. I sometimes think technology might be an easier example. A new album will be being created. A new album will being created. Okay, guys. So here's the answer. Can't be done. So yes, I got you guys thinking, but no. Future continuous passive. We're not going to be able to. We can't do. So when you create the passive, you can create the passive with the present simple and the present continuous and the present perfect. You can make the passive voice with past simple, past continuous, and past perfect. You can also make it with the future simple, and you can make it with the future perfect, but I haven't taught you guys the future perfect. I don't know if you do know the future perfect, but we can't make it with the future continuous. That is one step too far. Um, it's yeah, it's going to be one step too far. So that was a bit of a trick one there. Okay, so yeah, it can't be done. We can't make a future continuous in the passive voice. But I love the effort. Well done. Good stuff. Thank you for trying. So, guys, that brings us to the end of today's lesson. We've now looked at the passive. Remember, guys, when you are using the passive, you want to talk about the most important information, which is whereby something has happened to that object, to that subject. Sorry. So, the plane has been cancelled. We don't need to know why the plane has been cancelled. We just need to know the plane has been cancelled. That's the most important information. The thief was caught. We need to know, was the thief caught? Yes, that's the most important information. That's why we use it. Um, the book has been sold. The house has been sold. The um, the the guitar was being made in China and it broke and it didn't and it was broken, for example. That's when you start building on your sentences. So that's why it's important to know, and we can look at it and develop it over time. I think one of the things we will look at maybe next week is just a building, like build your sentences in the passive. Okay, so Anita says, I didn't get it. You can't make a future continuous passive. Why? Um, it just doesn't work. We can't do it with the future continuous passive. I know it sounds a bit strange because you can make the passive continuous with the past and the present, but the future, it just doesn't fit. Like the album will be being made. It just doesn't. We can't use it. Um, for whatever reason, the English grammar never it never got to that stage where the English grammar said, yes, it could be made. It just doesn't work. Trying to create it in my head is really, even if I try to create it in my head, it just doesn't make sense. We just don't use it because it's not possible. And I think it's because it just doesn't make sense. I think you lose in trying to make the passive. If you try to make the passive in a future continuous, you would probably lose the meaning. And it's the same when you try to create a present perfect continuous and a past perfect continuous. You lose meaning, which is why it can't be done. So yeah, so that's the rule. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you very much for finding the correct video as well. Alida, De Burke, and Arena F, thank you very much for finding the video and for your participation in today's lesson. Thank you so much, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, same time and on time, with a new lesson. Thank you so much for your contribution. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Alida says, thanks, Richard. Take care. See you. You too, Alida. You too, Arena F. And you too, De Beck. Thank you so much. Take care and bye for now.